Okay. Participants, please. Navyashri, Geeta, Yasin, Ravali, if you can switch on your webcams first.
अरे तुम ये सब सॉन्ग नहीं सुनते ना इसलिए।
I would like to request all participants and my fellow speakers for today to kindly switch on your webcams. We shall be going live in 1 minute from now. Everyone, webcams on, please. Sushma, Geeta, Somna, you too, please.
मैं कभी कभी
Am I audible, Ms. Bajpai?
Yes, sir. You're
Can you please check your DM once?
Yeah, just
सब तो नहीं करते हैं, हम ही प्राइवेटली करते हैं। ब्यूटी
Yeah, Somna, we're ready to go. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the final day of Conference 4.3 on the topic Rise of Solopreneurship, Benefits and Drawbacks. We hope you all had a restful evening and are ready for another day of insightful discussions and valuable learning with us.
absolutely. It was an incredible journey exploring the topic. So let's continue our discussion and hope everybody enjoys it. Our first speaker of the day is Ms. Priyadarshini. She is the founder and CEO of Skill Hub, India's first personalized skill enhancement platform. As a corporate trainer, international soft skills coach, and an internationally certified life coach, she is also an ISO certified counseling psychologist and a certified corporate trainer. With 3+ years of experience, she has empowered 300 plus professionals through personalized one on one training, psychologically curated learning programs, and corporate skill enhancement. She helps corporate startups, organizations, and institutions strengthen their workforce through impactful training in soft skills and professional etiquette.
Next up, we have none other than Ms. Vinti Narula, a storyteller at heart. Vinti began her solopreneurship journey around 2 years back. She likes to describe her work as the other kind of SaaS, storytelling as a service. She leverages storytelling for gamified events that help build communication and analytical skills, along with infusing an element of play. She also uses storytelling for building brand identities for small, meaningful brands, taking their essence to the right audience. She reached this multi-offering mode after a lot of happy and some tough experimentator journeys and is still crafting her value proposition in new ways. Vinti loves to take back into her past experiences to alchemize learnings into innovations for her current endeavor.
Moving on, we also have Mr. Rishabh Sharma. He has been a passionate stock market participant, active trader, and an investor for the past 14 years. Through his extensive experience, he discovered that the root cause of most major mistakes in the stock market lies in our own psychology. This realization led him to establish Fincinity, a platform dedicated to helping traders and investors overcome psychological barriers and make more informed financial decisions. His mission is to blend technical expertise with self awareness, empowering individuals to achieve their full potential in the markets.
Next up, we have Ms. Pragati Srivastava, who jumped into the solopreneurs world a year ago, and it's been quite wild for her. She has worked as a full-time employee for years, and now she runs her own show, working with clients and agencies, handling projects end-to-end. It's about owning your expertise, not just clocking hours. 6 years of leading content teams and driving results gave her the foundation to build her own practice. She is not just a freelancer, she is a partner. She manages projects from start to finish, bringing a unique blend of magazine editorial experience and digital strategy. This shift was about proving she could build something impactful her own way. Tripling her income from home is proof that it works. Being your own boss means owning your expertise.
Next up, we have Miss Bala Kirutiha. Her professional path led her from the world of academia into the exciting realm of startups, where she found her passion and purpose. Her experience in the edtech startup sector allowed her to merge her knowledge with the rapidly evolving landscape of technology driven education, emphasizing the transformative power of innovation, leadership, and design thinking. Currently, she is challenging her entrepreneurial spirit and expertise into the healthcare sector, where she is contributing to innovation and positive change. She is driven by her decision, hard work, and a relentless pursuit of excellence in her efforts to create solutions that make meaningful impact. Her journey from academia to the dynamic world of startups has equipped her with a unique blend of skills ranging from technical proficiency to strategic thinking, and a strong foundation in leadership and design thinking. She is passionate about making a difference through innovation and remain committed to pushing boundaries.
Last but not the least, we welcome Ms. Bhavna Suri, who, with over 15 plus years of independent experience in digital strategy, content marketing, and documentation, has helped businesses craft compelling narratives, build brand authority, and drive engagement across multiple platforms. Bhavana's expertise spans website development, SEO driven content creation, technical and business documentation, social media marketing, and brand storytelling. Working as a solopreneur, she has collaborated with startups, established enterprises, and global brands, delivering tailored solutions to their business goals. From developing content strategies and managing digital campaigns to creating in depth technical documents and developing some of the most labyrinth websites, she brings a strategic yet creative approach to every project. We are grateful for all of your presence and eagerly anticipate your valuable insights and contributions to today's event. I would also like to inform all of you that the HR team is conducting polls in the chat box throughout the session. So before we move ahead, I would like to request all our participants and panelists to kindly switch on your webcams and keep them on throughout the session so that we can ensure a two-way interaction. Shivanshu, Amrit, Diksha, Srajanya Durga, Pratik, Navyashri, Sanya, and others. If you can just switch on your webcams, it would be a pleasure. Sure. Now, moving ahead, I would like to request Ms. Priya Darshaniji to commence her speech and share her insights with all of us.
A very good evening to one and all. How are you? Everyone. I just want everybody to, as Sir mentioned, I want a two-way interaction, not just I'm speaking. It's not going to be a boring PPT-driven workshop. So it's going to be a two-way interaction where we are going to share our experiences and stories, basically. So here, I hope everybody will be having a great evening. So let's start with the topic. The topic itself is very uh, cool. Rise of Solopreneurship. Such a cool topic. So introducing me, as Tia mentioned, I am a corporate trainer and also a soft skill coach. But my journey started around 2020. So this looks so complicated, right? This is my roadmap, my 5 years of journey towards solopreneurship, towards startup, basically. So I started my journey as a freelancer, a girl, an 18-year-old girl who's doing PPTs for 150 to 200 rupees. That's what I see myself as a freelancer and solopreneur. And slowly I moved towards social media management, marketing, digital marketing, designing, and so on and so forth. Right now, I'm a career counselor, corporate trainer, soft skill coach, and a solopreneur successfully after 5 years of very rigorous paths. So, this is what an average school kid turns into a successful solopreneur looks like. Yes. So these are the multiple hats I had. As today, time is a major constraint. I have curated in a very short span. Like in 15 minutes, I need to share my entire journey. That's very, very tough for me. So this is just an outline of what are the hats I wore for the past 5 years. So I worked as a social media manager. I turned myself as a marketing head for my company. Right now I'm closing sales calls. I'm handling training. I'm jumping into multiple positions, hour by hour. So I think that's the beauty of solopreneurship and I completely enjoyed it. I'm not a person who complains a lot like Hare, I want to maintain this, I want to maintain that. I'm not that kind of a person. I basically a multi-passionate individual. I love sales, I love marketing, I love designing, I love teaching as well. That's the reason I choose training as my career. Again, I would like to share a very beautiful story with you all. This is my own story and this is my own perspective. Okay, if you guys have any secondary opinion, please feel free to share with me. So solopreneurship according to me is a position of growth. I see this as a imagine you are in a garden. Okay, that is a very big, very prosperous orange tree or any tree you name it. My favorite fruit is orange, so I choose that particular one. Imagine that people who constantly complain or people who constantly trigger your emotion. For example, you are a solopreneur, you don't have your own boss, just come and chill, party with us. There are some friends who will be constantly triggering us, right? Will be constantly triggering our dopamine, triggering our consistency, our discipline, and everything, right? For me, I see that as an invisible growth, just like a root of a tree. We don't know how much the root is encroached in the soil. Just like that, solopreneurship is a very beautiful journey of invisible growth. And the growth only can be visible through fruits, through the taste of fruits. That's what the example of this particular story. Coming to second thing, a solopreneur should have is a stubborn skill development. Many people will say, you are in a journey of business to make millions of dollars. That's okay. Making millions of dollars is fine. But if you don't grow along the way, or if you don't see it passionately, you can't sustain in that field. Other than money, there'll be no satisfaction to you. There'll be no uh, sort of internal bliss, let's say. I love the word bliss. So coming to second thing is your stubborn skill development, just like the trunk of a tree. We all know how strong the trunk of a tree is, right? Only with that strength a tree can stand strong. Just like that, we need to have a multi-passionated skill set. If you love digital marketing, go on, pursue that. Today in this digital era, everything is possible with the internet. Even I myself as a solopreneur learned everything from YouTube. I have no mentors. Till today, I have zero mentors. I am just going along the way, learning things, implementing it, trying it, erroring, making some errors, retrying it again. So it's all about trial and error. Even though you have invested lakh of rupees on mentors, I have been seeing people investing lakh of rupees on mentor. Still, they suffer from executional crisis. Executional crisis is something. If you're learning something, you need to implement it tomorrow or even day after tomorrow. But if you're still struggling with the execution thing, nobody can help you in this earth. That's what I believe. If you're good at something or if you're bad at something, you need to try it out first to make sure that particular thing is coming to you or not. It's starting from the scratch, literally from the scratch. Okay. Coming to third thing, everything is a birthplace of creativity. For a tree, the fruit is a birthplace of creativity. Just like that, you need to inculcate some creativity towards whatever work you're doing. Example, while building Skill Hub, uh, you may ask me a question. Basically, in India, around there are thousands of skill development academy. What segregates or what makes Skill Hub stand apart is we provide India's first personalized coaching, which means we focus one on one with our learners. I sit personally with each and every learner. There is no group sessions. There will be zero group kind of coaching, like thousands of people enrolling for 3,000 rupees, and they are just going on the process to get a certain form of certification. I'm not seeing this particular industry in that case. I'm seeing it learning should be personalized, learning should be customized, and it should be optimized for each and every psychology, each and every individual. How many of you had difficulty while completing a course, or what are the difficulties you guys face? Just drop it in the comments, or you can just unmute yourself and just tell me what are the struggles you face during completion of a course. Anyone? There are 20 plus people here. Anyone? Financial crisis. True, Yasin. That's true. That's the reason we actually in a very short line I can say we at Skill Hub solved around every problem what edtech companies face today, which means we have flexible scheme, which means we have flexible payment. If you have 500 rupees, let's imagine, you can opt for a course for 500 rupees. If you have 50,000 rupees, you can opt for a course. So we are in a spectrum towards giving proper education, quality education to everybody around the planet. We are not constrained about the budget. We are not here to tell that, okay, this is 30,000 worth course. If you are willing to pay, or you can opt for EMI. No, I myself hate EMIs. I don't encourage EMIs or credit or anything. So I'm a person who's willing to encourage people by proper skill development. That's the only motto here. And I'm on a mission towards like empowering around 1 crore people by 2030. I just want to hit that mission by 2030. That's the reason behind all the schemes we are providing in Skill Hub as a service. So we have customized curriculum designed for you. We have specific mentor for you, especially. We have chat support as well. We have flexible payment schemes as well. So these are the birthplace of creativity, I guess. I believe, because if I'm one among all the 100 tech companies, nothing is going to change in this world. We just want to create an impact that lasts forever. If I have a chance to at least change one person from this entire world, that is a very big pleasure for me, right? Nobody is actually doing. You can take our politicians as an example. You can take cine stars as an example. You can take influencers as an example. Everybody is just running behind money. Nobody, only little is running behind impact. So I want to be a person who is going to running behind the impact, not behind the money. So coming to our story and the branches, if you see the tree, they'll be having branches, right? So the branches are like networking, just like this event, just like how this forum gave us an opportunity to interact. You need to elaborate yourself as a speaker, as a participant, just a person who's having a curiosity. Okay, all I want to tell you is just use every single opportunity around. Example, here are 20 people, 20 plus people in this particular thing, a particular meeting, but only Yasin has that guts or the curiosity towards typing the answer, right? All I want to say is, whenever you got an opportunity of several people, you're standing in front of several people, just make use of that opportunity, interact with them in a very soulful manner, not just like you want to hit a like button or you just want to leave a comment. It's not like that. Just interact in a very personalized way. Okay, so at the end, if you do all the four things, you will automatically give fruitful results. That's what this is, my journey of solopreneurship, my story of solopreneurship. And what are the common struggles? Today's topic suggests that rise of solopreneurship struggles and benefits. So, struggles of solopreneur are three common things, according to my knowledge and coming to my own thing. Lack of motivation is the first thing. Nobody is here to motivate you. Nobody here is to you can lay your shoulders on. Second is loneliness, lack of motivation, trouble with loneliness. Third comes burnout. Somebody I don't see burnout as a thing because I love to do all the things. But not every solopreneur is blessed with that particular quality, right? So burnout is also a common thing. Let's see some of the solutions which I follow to make sure these particular habits acts as a savior for your struggles. Okay, first is habit building. Whenever you have certain thing to do it the next day without postponing things. If you want to build a habit of, let's say, uh, waking up early, I know it's a very terrible habit to build upon, but just say you want to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. Make sure you're not waking up or you're not sleeping till 10 a.m. At least keep a span of time. 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. is my sleeping time. In bit of that, you can wake up. It creates an habit of you following that particular thing. By day, days crossed, months crossed, years crossed, you will hit that 5 a.m. morning routine. Okay, everything is not built in a day, right? Nobody is here to like, I am a person. I can't say, I usually wake up around 8 a.m. every single day. I'm not a morning person. I sleep a lot. Okay. There is a misconception around this industry. Entrepreneurs, people who see entrepreneurs are like, okay, entrepreneurs are someone who will be waking up early every single day, who will be working very hard. No, that's not true. We are also humans. We also have emotion. We also have cravings. We also have mood of everything, right? But all we can do is, as entrepreneurs or as solopreneurs, we are naturally. So we need to solve our own problems instead of approaching or instead of depending on somebody else. Okay, especially women. Women should not be dependent on not any men, I say, not anybody. You want to figure it out on your own, at least for some period of time. Then life will give you a partner. You can collaborate with them. You can move your life throughout, right? So, second thing, you need to make sure you're mentally strong. If you're mentally strong, physically you'll be doing fine. Everything triggers us or everything damages our entire system is the mental well-being. So you need to take care of that. For mental well-being, you can follow journaling as a practice. Journaling is simple. Just take a pen or paper or diary, note down what triggers you. Note down what disturbs you a lot. Note down what creates pressure in your mind. I am a counseling psychologist, by the way. So I also handle mental well-being trainings or mental well-being counseling for working professionals. All I hear from my clients is, I don't know how to manage my thoughts. Priya, I don't know how to manage my overthinking. This is what people ask me every single time. The number one mantra is to be self-aware. Self-awareness is a key towards self-development. You can't develop yourself if you don't know about yourself. Okay, just make sure you know about yourself. What makes me trigger? What make me angry? What make me happy? What are the things I love to do? What are the things I hate to do? These are the things you need to make sure to be self-aware. Third comes upskilling. So coming to upskilling, anybody know about AI agents? Anyone? What are AI agents? Even though a corner basic answer is also acceptable, don't try to be a perfectionist. I'm not a perfectionist. I don't know much of things around happening in the world. Just tell me what are AI agents, or you're not aware. Just tell me you're not aware.
I guess most of us aren't Priyadarshini.
So, right. So even I'm not aware of AI agents. But the thing is, irrespective of the industry, upskilling is not about learning certain things based on industry. You need to learn things based on the world, not on the industry. Okay, it's the curiosity you need to have. Upskill, even though my industry is not in AI or tech, I usually read tech articles just to stay updated. There is a very famous quote called, you need to know something about everything to be a conversationalist. Everybody can be a communicator, but only some people can be a conversationalist. Conversationalist is all about just pick anybody in the crowd. I want to maintain a I want to maintain a relationship, or I want to create a sustainable friendship with them. I need to be a conversationalist. Let's say, for an example, Vinita. I can see Vinita on my screen. So if Vinita loves cricket, then I need to also have some knowledge towards cricket so that we can become friends. If Yasin has a knowledge of or has a passion of design, I need to have some knowledge towards design to talk to Yasin, right? It's like knowing something in a boundary level. There is nothing called perfectionism or perfecting. Even I don't know about AA agent, but to cope up with that thing, cope up with the relationship, to build sustainable friendships online, we need to make sure we know something about everything happening around in the industry, be it official, be it non-official, political, sports, spirituality, gaming, every single thing. Can anyone tell me what industry is booming in 2025? One specific industry. Okay. I hope everybody's very tired. Am I boring you guys? Okay, not a problem. Let's move forward. Let's not waste time because there are so many speakers on the panel. So, coming back to the question, the number one booming industry, not a number one of the number one booming industry in 2025 is coaching. You may have noticed a lot of ads. I'm a life coach, I'm a gut coach, I'm a mental wellness coach. There are a number of coaches available online right nowadays. There are plenty of opportunities in terms of training and coaching. So, to get yourself updated, first thing is habit building. You need to develop a habit from scratch. As I mentioned, I'm a very picture oriented person. So, don't get me wrong with this sort of PPT. I always love pictures instead of text. So, first, take a piece of paper, note down what are the habits you need to develop, and then create a list of habits. You need to inculcate those skill sets. Learn online, learn from online. Just go type on YouTube or type on Google. ChatGPT is available now. Even as a solopreneur, AI become my personal assistant. I use AI 85% in my work. So that's what smart people do. Uh, Nothing in terms of hard workers, but hard workers keep on complaining about AI revolution. They'll constantly worry about whether their jobs will be get replaced or not. But as a person, I see AI as a support system. It helps me a lot by curating curriculum, by sending personalized proposals, by sending so many things. So if you optimize AI, you will be going to learn everything from scratch, that you can able to grow your habit, whatever habit you have, with the help of AI within a matter of days. Okay. And mental well-being is all about, if you love water, how many of you love water here? Water and water oriented places. Anybody? Yeah, Pratik Kumar raised his hand. Okay, so I guess around 85% love water and water related places, right? I personally am a water baby. I call myself a water baby. If I have water everywhere, I can go sit there for hours and hours. So that's what I see myself as a personality. So if you're seeing that you are completely into one particular thing, take a break, spend time with yourself, spend time with your own thinking. I will not recommend going with a group of friends. That is okay. But try to take some solo trips, solo travel around 1 to 2 hours. Just walk into a cafe, sit there, think whatever you're good at. Again, I'm saying self awareness is a route towards self development. There is nothing called 100%, there is nothing called zero. Everybody is intermediate of something. We all have an inborn knowledge in something. If I'm good at communication, everybody will be good at communication. If you're good at time management, you may have a role model of mothers, handling time, handling work, handling pressure. So nobody is 100% and nobody is zero. Everybody in the middle struggling. with their own life, with their own situations. So coming to third thing, if you maintain your mental well-being, you will get all the time. All the requests I got or all the complaints I got from my clients is, Priya, we don't have time to upskill ourselves. There is no statement called we have no time. We are not prioritized it. That's it. How many of you spoke with your or chat with your friends for about an hour? Or how many of you check your digital well-being time every single day? Digital well-being is all about how much time you spend your day on social media on unwanted stuffs. So if you check that, just go to your settings, digital type digital well-being. If you check that timing, you will know how much time you're wasting every single day. 2 years back, I noticed that, and I came to know that I waste around 5 hours on social media. Even though I'm working, I spend around 5 hours scrolling something, chit chatting a bit, watching a movie, something or other. So I figured that out, and I got a time for my upskilling thing. Okay, that's the reason behind personal brand and everything. Here, a lot of entrepreneurs struggle. LinkedIn personal branding is so famous right now, right? So a lot of entrepreneurs are struggling. I don't know how to build a personal brand. I'm not a branding person. I'm not from a background of branding and marketing. What I see is just sit and learn what is personal branding. If I can do it, you can do it too. I'm also an average individual, eating three times food, sleeping 8 to 9 hours every single day, wasting time on social media, chit chatting with friends. If I can do it, you can also do it. The thing is execution. If I have the capacity or I have the willingness, or somebody else is having the willingness to try, sit and write that one LinkedIn post, which creates a difference. So always execute more rather than talking. I don't believe in debates or group discussions. Discussions are the waste of time. Execution matters. Okay. Yes. So this is what the reality is. Everywhere, if you go to a shopping market, crowded. MNCs are in loss. Infosys, TCS, firing like anything. Corporates are becoming so and so toxic. But the blessing of an entrepreneur or a solopreneur is minimal risks, maximum effort. We can optimize with technology. Right now, we have everything around AI agents, everything. AI agents is all about you are fixing a mission as a CEO, as a salesperson, as a marketing head. So it will take care of all the works, minimal miscellaneous works of you. That's called AI agents. I learned it last week by seeing Ishan Sharma's video. I know Ishan, you guys know Ishan Sharma, right? So he's a fabulous content creator. I learned that upskilling kind of mantra from him. So the thing is, always keep in mind that you have very minimal risk. You don't, solopreneurs have zero risk towards giving salary to the person, optimizing electrical circuit, or creating supplies, stationary supplies, conducting regular meetings. No, nothing. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your mind, your body, your work, your routine. So if taking care of you sounds very unfamiliar to you or sounds very uncomfortable for you, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help you guys. Thank yourself for spending this wonderful time. Thank you so much for everyone. And you can scan this QR to get connected with me. At the same time, yes, I'm open for Q&A. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Any feedback. If you don't like the session, you can just tell me, Priya, what's the session? I hate it. It has zero value. You have all the rights. Yes. Yes, guys. It's your time. So, yeah. In the chat box, here is a feedback form. You can just fill how was the session, how was everything. I just want to correct myself if I did any mistakes. Okay. Nobody's a perfectionist, so am I. Just fill the
Thank you
feedback
for the
form,
wonderful
whatever,
speech by Shanishi.
whether you.
Yeah, please do share your email ID in the chat box so that our participants can directly connect with you. And obviously,
Sure, sure. I'll
important
be
question.
sharing my email and WhatsApp. Email is too outdated, I guess. Stop on WhatsApp.
No issues. Tia,
Thank you, Ms. Priyadarshini, for the wonderful speech and for sharing the tips. I really connected with your idea of, solitude, and even I go on like solo dates every week, to kind of journal and reflect. So it was really wonderful hearing from you. And if any of our audience has any questions, they can reach out to you via the email or the contact via giving in the chat box. Now I would request Miss Vinti Narula to comment her speech.
Yes. Hi. Thank you so much, Tia. Also, thank you so much for having me here on this platform. This space is a very, very interesting community to have. Just give me a minute to quickly share my screen, please. Yeah. Is the presentation visible? Yeah. Hi. Am I audible? Is the presentation visible?
Yes, you are audible.
yeah, you're audible. Well, please continue.
I'll give a very quick introduction about myself. Hi, my name is Vinti Narula. I run this little solopreneurial venture called Postcards from Life, where we do brand storytelling services and we also conduct storytelling events. I started about 2 years back, and I'm still kind of figuring out my value proposition, innovating every day. I should also tell you that I'm an engineer. So as you can see on the screen, I've kind of, analyzed my learnings and tabulated them for you. I'm also an MBA, so that is why you see this presentation on screen, a very short one, I assure you. But also because I'm a storyteller, so you will find some references to art, cinema, literature, music throughout. So please bear with me on all these three. Okay. At the very outset, I wanted to share that for me as a solopreneur, the benefits of the journey and the drawbacks, or rather the challenges, as I like to call them, have been pretty much two sides of the same coin. What I mean is that the benefits feed into the challenges, and then the challenges kind of feed back into the benefits. And how you cruise through the challenges is something that I like to call as a navigator. So I'll quickly jump into the four categories that I wanted to really share from my journey today. The first, very, very obvious benefit of being a solopreneur, as you can all imagine, is the amount of autonomy that you can enjoy, right? You have absolute autonomy over your time, over your location, over the money that you want to spend, resources, your energy, you name it. And it's a huge rush. But what is the flip side of that autonomy? What is the challenge that you will encounter? Is that autonomy will also mean absolutely sole accountability. So, for example, if I have enjoyed a tremendous amount of time freedom the last 2 years, it has also meant that I have had to be very, very brutally rigid about my time schedules. Some days I've actually sat down and I've incorporated deadlines, I've incorporated deliverable milestones, and I've forced myself to meet them, right? So, hence, the navigator for this kind of a benefit challenge equation becomes discipline, right? And that discipline will mostly come from a very strong why, the why that made you a solopreneur in the first place. Extending that to the second benefit challenge bucket, I think the second one was so big for me that I kind of, gave it its own space. I really enjoyed the speed and freedom with which I was able to take my idea as a solopreneur to the market, at least for testing and validation purposes, right? You don't have to go through endless meetings, approvals, stakeholder catch ups, investors saying yes, nothing of that sort. What is the flip side to it? What is the challenge? I faced a lot of rejections for my ideas. I did not sometimes get the kind of response that I was anticipating. The feedback was not up to my expectations. So you will have to relentlessly be okay to shed your ego and pivot your idea, drop your idea sometimes altogether, change it, edit it, whatever the feedback asks you to do. And here I want to kind of bring in a concept that I like to call hairpin bends. You know, hairpin bends, when we're traveling up the mountains and the hills, you see these, really sharp 180-degree turns that we keep encountering as we go up. Now, these hairpin bends are what I encountered over the last 2 years also, and not one time, not two times, almost 6 times. So I started purely by offering long form content writing services, just essentially SEO driven blogs. To the form that Postcards from Life is at now, I had to encounter 6 hairpin bends. And the beauty of the hairpin bends is they will make you loopy, they will make you feel scared, they will even get you nauseous. But you have to keep moving on, and only then you realize that the view, down in the valley, up in the mountains, it just keeps getting better and better. So the navigator here for this benefit and challenge becomes shed your ego and be ready to embrace those hairpin bends. The third bucket of the benefit drawback equation for me, again, the benefit is very, very obvious, right? When you bring out an idea to the world, you create a product, you create a service completely on your own. And the first time you get a client or a customer who is resonating with it, who is willing to pay you for it, it's an unparalleled joy that you feel, right? Because it's the joy of creation, it's the joy of service. You will feel meaning, you will feel purpose fulfillment, you will feel satisfaction. But as a solopreneur, especially, the drawback and the challenge will be that in equal intensity, you will feel moments, not just moments actually, huge time periods of a lot of self-doubt, a lot of it. And as a solopreneur, you will have to ride this little swing, of will I be able to make it or not? Will I be able to make it or not? Am I on the right path or not? Predominantly, this swing of self-doubt, you will have to ride it on your own. Predominantly. Why I say predominantly is because I was able to find a navigator for that too. But I'll park that navigator for now because it's the same navigator that helped me in my last bucket also. So the last bucket of benefit and drawback and challenge for me has been, I assume that if you have that instinct or drive, or even if you're questioning that, you want to be a solopreneur, I believe you have a personality type that leans towards ongoing learning. You have a passionate, you have a curious mindset. So for these kind of personality types, you and me, solopreneurship is a learner's paradise, right? You not only choose to learn something new every day, you're forced to learn something every day. You might start with learning social media marketing basics, you may move on to graphic design basics, and you might end up learning about legal issues, contracts, and IP protection, right? So it's very, very enjoyable that way. But the challenge is, how much do you want to continue learning completely on your own? Because you don't want to spread yourself so thin that you burn out. Also, you might enjoy learning at a theoretical level, but you may not be very good at executing all those learnings that you require for your business. So again, you have to play the long-term game. Now, for both the third section and the fourth section, I borrowed this concept from the TV series and the books called Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, if you are not aware of it, I'll explain the concept. It's pretty simple. So Game of Thrones, as the name suggests, we have a lot of kings and queens battling in a Game of Thrones, right? Now, all these kings and queens have something called a small council. A small council is nothing but, a small group of carefully selected people who advise the king and the queen on different matters in which they are expert at, right? Now, there's no qualms in saying that these people are not partners. They are not, co-heirs to the kingdom. You are still the king and the queen of your kingdom. These are not your employees. These are not your co-founders. They're not your investors, nothing. They're just subject matter experts who you can bring in for different purposes. So you can choose your small council, and the benefit we have in this day and age is that all these, individuals don't have to be people. It can be a mix of digital solutions and people. So you can have someone who is a master of law for your legal matters, someone who's a master of coins who you can freelance hire for your budgeting, accounting, auditing purposes. You can have a master of whisperers who's essentially a market researcher who, kind of advises you on the industry trends and tells you how do you need to stay ahead of the curve. And most importantly, which is the navigator for point number 3, there is a hand to the king or queen, who's essentially someone who's an advisor, mentor, or coach to you. Now, I don't mean you have to really spend a lot of money to get a mentor or a business coach. It could even be someone within your friends and family circle. The essential point is that it has to be someone who's absolutely neutral to you and your business idea. That objectivity has to be there. So you choose how you want to build your small council. You can involve AI solutions, digital solutions, technology, hire freelancers, bring in other solopreneurs for a small term contract. All of those solutions are available for you to navigate these two challenges so that you can enjoy the benefits. So those were the 4 sections that I really wanted to share from my journey today. And I want to end up with 2 little quotes. One is again an artistic reference from Taylor Swift. She mentioned this in her speech to a group of college students again. She says that the scary news is that you're on your own now. But the cool news is also that you're on your own now, which I really think kind of sums up the solopreneurship journey really well. And the last bit of advice comes from my father. He used to say that no matter what road you choose in life, whether you choose to be a solopreneur, whether you don't choose to be a solopreneur, you will always face some challenges in any path you choose. So you better choose a path where the views along the road are really enjoyable, because then your mind does this really cool trick. It turns all your challenges into mini quests, like in a video game. So you're like just conquering little adventures on your own, and that makes the journey hopefully a little more fun. So thank you. I hope this was helpful, and this is what I wanted to share from my experience today.
Firstly, thank you, Vinti, for the amazing presentation. It was quite useful, and yeah, your context of Game of Thrones is quite appreciated, since I'm a GOT fan myself. But again, keeping that aside, the last quote that you came up with, college after Wala, that's a bit true for all of us, I guess. Irrespective of the fact whether we are researchers or we are students or we are entrepreneurs or even normal corporate professionals. I had a small question to you, Vinti. Could you just tell us something about your vision for your startup and like how did you come up with it?
Sure. So, as I said, I started with only pure play content writing services, but I realized that just content writing was getting very boring for me. So then I moved on to trying out different options. And like Priyadarshini said, I actually sat down and I kind of very brutally audited what my strengths are. That is where the idea of storytelling came about, because I looked back into my past experience. I think that was very helpful. I literally sat down and I sifted out all the frills and I saw what is my basic skill that I absolutely enjoy, as well as it is a strength. So it was, a culmination of both those things. I started freelancing on brand storytelling projects, and I realized that if I can do this well in a brand storytelling freelance perspective, I can probably do this on my own as well. So right now, my solopreneur venture offers both the things. It does brand storytelling services also for very, very young other solopreneurs, influencers, and I also do storytelling events. So that gives me a balance of both the things that I really enjoy. And I want to extend my services to narrative therapy as well. So that is something that I'm still building on and I'm still upskilling. So, connecting the dots with her presentation before me and my own experience, I think all solopreneurs kind of connect the dots that way.
That's great, Vinti. Tia, there are two questions in the chat box for our guests. Would you like to read it out, please?
Sure. So the question is, how do you deal with self-doubt and external criticism? That's the first question.
Okay. So I think as any normal human being, it really hits me. I wouldn't lie. But with a lot of, grounding techniques, like I'm someone who's absolutely gotten into meditation right alongside my solopreneurship journey. I'm a regular, journaling enthusiast as well. You have to sit back and filter out the external noise against your internal evaluation of yourself. You, whether you've been a student so far, whether you've been a professional so far, you have already expressed a certain part of yourself to the world. So internally you have to kind of filter out that noise and see what that criticism is saying is true, how much of it is true, and how much do you know yourself to be true. And it's a muscle. It really takes a lot of time. It'll hit you, you'll go down, feel all the feelings that you have to. Like exercise, you just keep showing at it every day. It doesn't come overnight, I'm afraid.
That's great, Vinti. Yeah, Darshini ji, I guess we have a question for you too in the chat box. If you can just read it once.
Yeah. So, as a solopreneur, you wear multiple hats. How do you prioritize tasks effectively? Okay. So, prioritizing tasks, as Vinti mentioned, it's not a one-day game. It's not a one-night game. Uh, I used to follow a technique called time blocking. I'll just drop it on the chat box. Time blocking, in the sense, just let's imagine you're waking up at 8 a.m. every day. Okay. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. is a personal time. You can sit journal, you can drink coffee, you can take a bath, you can eat breakfast. 8 to 10 a.m., 2 hours of your own personal time. You can spend with your family, you can help your mother, you can do your household chores and everything. After like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be one task. Let's imagine handling sales calls. So I have a list of leads. I need to call them. I need to make sure they are getting my services on time. So 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'll be on the sales calls. 12 p.m. to let's say 2 p.m. I have my self time, which means working on my materials, upskilling, lunch, relaxing a bit, every single thing. And again, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. have another block of time. So the message is once you're blocking time, you have no right to get up from your chair. That's the only thing will be constantly running on in my mind. Whenever you're blocking time, you need to sit there brutally. Even though your back is hurting, doesn't matter. You need to sit there for hours to make sure. People will say after 1 hour you need to take a walk. That's fine, but that is for a consistent individual who is capable of working even after scrolling Instagram. But for people who are just starting out, need to sit for hours to maintain that consistency towards handling tasks effectively. So I hope Vanilla, you got your answer.
Sure. I guess it was great, Priyadarshini. Time blocking is an effective method, although I use Pomodoro, but nonetheless, we come to the same thing. Yeah, Tia, if you can just carry it out. And I would like to request the participants to put forth the questions, if any, in the chat box, or you can even unmute and speak. Our guests are open to speaking, interacting. Anyone who has any questions, you may simply raise your hands once. Yasin, you have questions? No questions, Yasin? Okay. No questions from the panel. I guess the presentations are quite clear in that case. Ms. Bajpai, do you have any, or would you like to go further?
Yeah. So I had a question for you, Vidhi. I want to ask, how did you kind of overcome, the problems or the barriers in the early stages of your startup? Sorry, your business.
Anything specific you wanted to know about?
I mean, anything, because I feel the early stages are a little more comparatively difficult. Then once you kind of get the hang of it and you're like, okay, I can deal with this problem now. I know how to kind of
Yeah.
overcome it. But I think it is a comparatively a tad bit difficult in the initial
Yes.
stages of your solopreneur journey. So how did you kind of like overcome, that stage of maybe self-doubt or going about solving a problem? Any problem that was related to your business.
Okay, so I think I'll just give a very quick example related to the storytelling event practice that I was trying to build. So, this was a very new concept that I was piloting in Bangalore. And Bangalore, when people step out for an event on weekends, it's usually for a movie or you're going to a pub or a restaurant. Coming for a storytelling event and paying for it, it was like a gamified thing. It was something that I was piloting for the first time. To my surprise, I had kind of for the first event, pilot event, kind of factored in about a crowd of 20, and 12 of them showed up. So I was very happy. I was over the moon that, yeah, I've cracked a good idea and everything. So, in my haste, in that enthusiasm, I kind of scheduled the next event very quickly. And I did not factor in certain external market conditions. The next event, only two people showed up. The good thing was that those two people were referrals from the audience members who had joined me in the first time. But the bad news was that it was only two people. What I hadn't factored in was that the timing of the event over the weekend and the dates matter a lot because Bangalore is a city which is filled with people coming in from different parts of the country, and I had scheduled it just right before the Shera. It was such an obvious mistake to overlook. It could have killed my confidence completely and said that, hey, my storytelling event is not working, people are not interested. But I got back home and I realized that, okay, there are certain factors that have also to be taken control of or taken note of before I kind of roll out events, in the future. So I sat down with the venue manager and the event planner, and I kind of built a schedule. So long weekends are completely off because Bangalore is not that kind of a city. Maybe it works in a city like Delhi, but not in a city like Bangalore. So very small teething troubles when you start off can kill your confidence because you tend to take things on yourself. But you have to kind of sit down and filter out things from what you can control, what you can't control, what is a market driven factor, what is your own idea driven factor. And that really helps. That self evaluation really helps. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you for answering that. I think it makes sense. And thank you for the wonderful speech. If you could share your email address in the chat box so that if any of our audience has any questions, they can reach out to you. Um, our next speaker is Miss Balakirutiha S. I would request her to comment her speech.
Hi everyone, I'm Balakrithiha from Avionics Private Limited. I'm running a medtech startup. So our vision for the company is to develop non-invasive or very less invasive devices, particularly focusing on women's health. And I have done my master's in entrepreneurship as well. And let's move on to the topic. Let me share my screen. So what I'm sharing is not new. Like you have already uh, heard it from people, the previous speakers. So thank you for being here today. And with me, like I try to cover some of the unexplored aspects of solopreneurship, the challenges, strategies, and future trends. And when we often hear about solopreneurship as the ultimate path of freedom, there is no bosses, no office politics, complete control over our schedule. But if we take a step back and look beyond the surface, it's not just about running one person business, but it has a lot of challenges, making thousands of decisions alone and constantly evolving unpredictable market. So today we discuss some of the most underestimated aspects of solopreneurship. So the hidden toll of decision fatigue, the first ever of our content. So here, every decision that we make, whether it's choosing a marketing strategy or replying to your client emails or setting your prices, drains your mental energy. Decision fatigue is real in solopreneurship, as you don't have a team to offload choices, like a lot of team to offload choices to. This exhaustion leads to slower responses, poor decision making, and ultimately burnout. How to combat this is we have to automate routine decisions, have to use scheduling tools, templates, AI assistants to reduce the daily mental load, and set fixed routines to for predictable tasks so they become habits rather than active decisions. And outsourcing small and repetitive tasks will also help. You don't need to do everything by yourself. By doing this, you can preserve your mental energy, and that leads to high impact decisions that truly drive your business forward. And the second one is the psychology of influence in business. Many solopreneurs focus on tactics like SEO and social media marketing, but often they overlook behavioral economics. The science behind why that is the science behind why people buy. The way your price, position, and communicate your products makes a huge difference in the mindsets of customers. So, for example, you can fix a charm pricing of like $9 instead of $10 and increase sales by because customer perceive it as a significantly cheaper price. And you also have to create urgency and scarcity strategy, like only 5 spots left, like that. And social proofs like testimonials, case studies, and endorsements can also build trusts quickly. Mastering these principles will also help in understanding the human psychology, and that naturally offers compelling offers to attract your customers. The next thing is leveraging technology for efficiency. The most common misconception is solopreneurs must handle everything alone. That's not true, because now the technology and particularly AI has changed the game. By integrating smart digital tools, solopreneurs can increase efficiency and scale their businesses effectively. Some of the key technologies to leverage are in case of AI and automation, you can use multiple chatbots nowadays. For project management, you can use platforms like Trello, Asana, Notion, etc. You can make use of Bubble, Webflow, Zapier kind of no-code platforms. And for data analytics, you can use Hotjar, Google Analytics. You can also make use of blockchain and smart contracts to facilitate secure transactions. Cloud computing services like Google Drive, Dropbox, and AWS plays a major role. Voice and virtual assistants can also be very much helpful, like Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant. Augmented reality and virtual reality kind of things also very much useful. So technology isn't replacing. It's not about replacing human interaction, but it's to increase the efficiency and maximizing the efficiency so that you can focus on strategy, innovation, and personal connections with your customers. The next thing is the hidden costs of digital business. We often think online businesses are low cost, but hidden expenses sneak up over time. Monthly subscriptions for software, hosting, and tools, payment processing fees that cut off into profits, cybersecurity investments to protect customer data. A smart solopreneur should anticipate these budgets and these expenses rather than being caught off at later stages. And the next thing is the power of networking. One of the biggest misconceptions about solopreneurship is that it's a solo journey. In reality, networking is the key to long term success. Collaborating with other solopreneurs creates growth opportunity as well. Industry connections lead to referrals and business insights. Online communities provide support and learning opportunities. Building strong relationship in your industry can often lead to mentorship, partnership, and other broader reach, ultimately helping you to scale faster. And the next thing is having mental resilience and loneliness in solopreneurship. Running a business alone can be so isolating. Unlike traditional work environments, solopreneurs often lack built in social structures. This loneliness can lead to self doubt and burnout. How to combat this is by just you can join the mastermind groups to connect with like minded entrepreneurs. You can set up accountability partnerships for motivation and business feedback. You can also create a structured work life balance to prevent burnout. So, mental resilience is the key to develop strategies to stay motivated and engaging, crucial for long term success. The future of solopreneurship is it's still evolving. Here are some trends to watch. Like automation will continue to replace repetitive tasks in AI powered businesses. Customers wants to connect with real people, not faceless brands. So personal branding over generic businesses is much more important. The rise of micro entrepreneurs is uh, by people monetizing niche skills, hobbies, and knowledge in creative ways, or the emerging trends. And community driven businesses, in case of like more social solopreneurs, or focusing on building engaged communities rather than just selling products. And a decentralized work and blockchain driven opportunities. With blockchain and remote collaboration tools, solopreneurs are accessing global opportunities like never before. And subscription based business models also are the new trends. And I'm concluding this lecture by my remarks. Like solopreneurship is not just about working alone, it's about working smart, leveraging the right tools, building meaningful connections. The future belongs to those who innovate, adapt, and create value beyond traditional boundaries. To succeed, work smarter, not just harder. Leverage technology and automation. Build meaningful connections and communities, and keep learning and adapting. Thank you, and I look forward to our discussion.
Yeah, firstly, that was a great speech, Balakrita. And even as
Thank
I
you.
was just looking, you seem to run Ageonix Private Limited.
Yeah.
So, would you like to tell us something about your vision?
So my vision is like I have started exploring this company when I had my first journey. Spush is nothing but an opportunity, fellowship opportunity from Department of Biotechnology, BIRAC, Biotechnology Industrial and Research Assistant Council. So I have gone through many hospitals, and I have seen there are very less facilities for women, especially for women. There are very less non-invasive devices available in the market. And then I had a mindset of creating my company in which I can play a major role for developing solutions. Those are very less invasive or very non-invasive solution for making women's health very much
हाँ
better.
टेबल पे
Say
पानी
for example, like my first product is for cervical insufficiency, wherein we are actually replacing a surgery with our non-invasive tool. So in that way, I wanted to enhance the women's community.
So, just a personal question, Balakrupa,
Yeah.
since you have a lot of experience, does being a solopreneur mean that you need to undertake all the operations of your firm yourself? Doesn't it mean that you can maybe decrease or delegate your work to someone else who is a part of your team? As you were actually talking about delegation of authority in your presentation.
Yeah. So I actually what I do is I collaborate with multiple people. The thing is like I will ideate my ideas, and I have a collaborator for die casting and other prototyping activities. I collaborate with the collaborator, and then I start uh, start licensing out my technology. So in that way also we can work. It's not about working alone and getting burnout. We can actually make leverage of multiple collaborators and then make use of the opportunities.
That's great. Last question to you, Balakrupa, if you don't mind it.
Yeah.
Since we have at least, I think, 20 to 30 women entrepreneurs sitting here, because most of our audience today is of women who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, who are a part of our cohort 4 of bootcamp 2. And obviously, multiple women will be again seeing this once it goes on YouTube. So, I just a small last question. What would be your advice to those women aged between 18 and 20,
Okay.
aged between 18 and 20, pursuing their undergrad and also running their startup or planning to launch their startup as a solopreneur this year itself?
So the thing is, like, I hope many are interested in technological startup, and I would like to give a piece of advice to those people who are more interested towards a technological startup. Look around the problems around you. So that's the way you can find out. You can get more opportunities of what problem to start. What is your startup idea? And people between age 18 to 20, you are it's the time for all the women founders to pursue their dream, actually. Otherwise, if it ages, no, they also have a societal pressure of getting married and other things, especially from family also, which I also suffered from. So it's the right age to start. Don't wait for anything. Just look around the problems around you, and you can start a business by that way.
Okay. Thanks for that statement.
Thank
I
you.
hope our women entrepreneurs are taking that into note, including Ananya, Ravalli, Rukaya, and others, whoever I can see from here. And obviously, that was a great presentation, Balakruta. Thanks for that. Now, I would like to invite all the audience to put forth their questions, if any, to any of our panelists. You can simply raise your hand and put your question forward, or you can simply type it in the chat box even. Any questions from the audience? None? No questions, Anya? Okay. I guess Ms. Bajpa, you can carry it over from here.
Sure. So firstly, thank you, Miss Balakrutia, for being with us today. And it was a really wonderful speech. I guess you've already shared your email address in the chat box. So if any of our audience has any questions, they can reach out to you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And I hope that everybody gained some knowledge from this conference. Looking ahead, we are excited to announce that our next conference will be held in March, uh, in April, sorry. The topic of which is legal considerations for forming a business partnership. We hope to see you all there and engage in some insightful discussions. Thank you again, and we look forward to reconnecting with you at our upcoming conference. Do subscribe to our channel and follow us on our social media handles to stay connected with us. Goodbye and have a great day.
Sure, everyone. Participants, your certificate form link will be shared in the groups. Kindly fill it before 8:30 p.m. tonight to get your certificate successfully. Speakers and panelists, your certificates will be dispatched by the HR team by tonight itself. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.